Release anger and forgiveness. So, what I want to talk about here is about radical forgiveness. And I know forgiveness is a huge issue just, throughout the ages. How do we forgive people? And it usually starts from the place in the mind. How can I, the mind, forgive something that hurt the mind? I felt dishonored, I felt disrespected, or whatever the thing is. And then we get into abuse and assault and all those things. And the mind is always trying to understand that. And how can I, the egoic self, the personal self, let this go? How can I let this stand without condoning it and that kind of thing? And without going into what sounds like spiritual bypass, because I'm not for that at all, I want to really understand from a higher perspective. So I've come across some great information about releasing anger and letting forgiveness happen. So your anger is a limited perspective. There may be needs not being met, but are you meeting those needs yourself and for others? And this goes into something that I work with a lot is somebody wants to experience something different in the relationship, but they want to receive something or not receive something. And the question always has to be, are you giving yourself those things? Are you demanding something from someone that you haven't given yourself? Are you wanting forgiveness from somebody, but you haven't forgiven yourself, or any part in that, and that you were in that consciousness somehow? Or what the big thing that people don't realize is, are you supporting yourself in being of a higher consciousness that doesn't attract that? And I know this is getting really touchy because it really puts the onus and the responsibility on me. Am I creating my world that is of a high vibration? Do I the way that I eat, is it high vibration foods that I'm taking those energies and putting it into my vessel? Is that supporting me? Is that supporting me being in existing in a high consciousness? The things that I drink, am I drinking things that lower my frequency, alcohol and sugars, in a big way? And those things affect me. They kind of dull me down if I do too much of that. They can also mess with my systems so they're not operating at highest frequency. Even just those two are pretty profound. And then you get into things like the movies that you watch and the things that you listen to, and then of course the words that come out of your mouth, and the conversations that you are a part of, and how you talk about the world and how you talk about yourself. All those things is kind of, we don't really think about them, and no one teaches us these things usually, but they have an effect on our, what the spiritual community calls your vibration or your inner frequency, meaning your thoughts and beliefs and emotions that you hold um, most of the time. So I could be driving down the road, someone could cut me off in a big way, I'd fly off and F you, flip them off, and have a big rage moment. But that doesn't have to be my inner vibration. It's just a slip. Sorry. So moving on, you may have expectations about the way life should go for you. Have you been supporting yourself and loving yourself in all ways for this expectation to manifest? If not, first, forgive yourself and forgive your ego for its need to contract and stay small within victim consciousness. Once you do that, now move forward. We want it to be a bigger thing, that it means more, something that says more. But just doing that, okay, I must have had some responsibility in here, and I don't want to blame myself, but I just want to say that I haven't been doing the best job of raising my frequency. That's a pretty easy thing to say. And if I haven't been doing the best job at that, then there is something that I could kind of change. That's where we move forward. How can I change that? So there's nothing that you can be aware of in another without being aware of it in yourself. What you deny, you will project. Think about that one and meditate on that one. Here's a really good explanation of forgiveness. Forgiveness is the giving up of resentment, anger, and the need for requital. Now, I'm not going to admit to you that I needed to look up the real definition of this word. I thought I did, but it's something given in return, compensation or retaliation. So you're giving this forgiveness without any expectation of anything getting back. If I forgive them, it's okay if they don't forgive me or they do something that makes it aware that they changed. Forgiveness is not an intellectual gesture, but a radical transformation of one's being, best encapsulated in the Aramaic term washwoklan, to return to original wholeness. God, that hits my heart. I don't know what it is about the Aramaic, but hearing that word just brings tears to my eyes. And about the return to original wholeness. Oh my gosh, doesn't that feel like it hits you? It's got to hit inside of your soul that there's this longing for you to return to original wholeness. Oh my gosh, like an innocent child, like your authentic self. And we get so caught up in everything and everything affects us. Oh, like to be washed white clean. Well, we can do that and it's all in our control. And it's moving beyond that resistance to forgive. You cannot force forgiveness. Do not turn away from the pain. Be aware of spiritual bypass or whitewashing like love and light, love and light. Lack of self forgiveness can be an environment that holds penance. Like, I don't want to forgive myself. I was so terrible. I was so bad. I should have made different decisions. And all that probably stems from guilt and shame. Something happened. If you could maybe even track that back to sometime in your childhood that maybe you got caught with your pants down or looking at your private parts and then guilt and shame and then you carry that through and then of course you don't forgive yourself. So just a thought. When someone inflicts pain, rape, torture, murder, abuse on another, it is sometimes a cry for another person, anyone, to know the extreme pain they experience every day. This is not condoning those things. It's trying to understand why someone would inflict such pain. And I remember hearing a story from Teal Swan. You can look this up. I think she has a recording about this, about her biggest abuser. She was a victim of a ritualistic sex cult when she was very little, and she tells a story about what she came to about this, why he was doing this, and it kind of she was explaining it that he was doing it to show so that somebody would know the kind of pain that he himself was in. So, one way for the victim to shift out of victim consciousness is to realize that they too have wanted others to understand the pain that they themselves have been in. It is not in relating to the abuser's act, but to the depth of their pain that we find a path towards self healing and forgiveness. Did you get that? It's not in relating to the abuser's act. I don't condone rape and murder and torture, but you're relating to the depth of the pain. And if we are beings of infinite light and eternal beings, there has to be, I don't see how it's not possible that I could be all of it. And I think about being all of it, and it hits me with such pain and also this expansion that I'm not separate from all of it. And my job is to stay in compassion and empathy as much as I can. Do not forgive from a better than you are place. Know there is perfection in life and there are no moments that there is not perfection. Acceptance is love. Don't just have judgment. Don't just accept, but accept and embrace that someone is a creator just like you. They are creating exactly what they want to create, which may be on an unconscious level, but they may be unconscious. Forgive them from a place of full acceptance of the choices that were made. Don't expect people to do any better than they are compelled to do at their present level of consciousness. You couldn't have expected me to do any differently than where I was 15, 20 years ago, to offer forgiveness or to be an aware person that is actually thinking about other people. I just wasn't there. I just didn't have that consciousness. It wasn't because I didn't want to be a good person. I just wasn't existing in that level of consciousness. So people who do harm to others are living in an anger living in anger, and have developed strategies for dealing with their own pain, but which hurts other people. That sucks. All right. Number one, focus on healing, not forgiveness. What is the opposite pattern you are wanting to be in? Number two, stop resisting where you are. Admit the reality of where you are. Acknowledge and validate your emotions as opposed to your thoughts, whatever those are. Number three, change the perspective that our most hurt aspect holds. Though this is not to say your current perspective is wrong. Okay, I want to share with you a quick little affirmation prayer. To all those that I have hurt knowingly or unknowingly through thoughts, words, or actions, please forgive me. To all those that have hurt me knowingly or unknowingly through thoughts, words, or actions, I forgive you. Please help me forgive and release myself for all the ways I have hurt myself and hurt others. I'm going to try to do this without crying, you guys. Please help all people I have hurt forgive and release me. Please help me forgive and release all the people who have hurt me. Please help us all forgive and release each other. Please help us forgive and release ourselves. Divine consciousness for me, my family, my ancestry, and all of humanity throughout all time. Please help us forgive each other and forgive ourselves. Be at peace with each other and be at peace with ourselves. Release each other and release ourselves. Love each other and love ourselves. Divine consciousness for me, my family, my ancestry, and all humanity throughout all time. Ooh. Please help us forgive all people. Help all people forgive us. Help us all forgive each other and forgive ourselves. Help us all love each other and love ourselves. Be at peace with each other and be at peace with ourselves. Divine consciousness, we give you our love. We thank you for your constant love and blessings. Please bless, protect, lead, guide, and empower me, my family, my ancestry, and all of humanity. Throughout all time, now and forever, please, divine consciousness, thank you, divine consciousness, thank you, divine consciousness, thank you, divine consciousness. Amen, 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 amen. It is not ours to know the time of our death, but the time of our living, and that time is now. Ooh, all right. Doing okay. A couple more minutes. The reason why my voice is hoarse is I just got done with a multiple day vision quest and rite of passage, and it was so profound and really life transforming. Uh, my friend, who's a shaman in town, his name is Kurt. Some of you may know him. He drove me out to this place called Sycamore Canyon, and it was just really far out there. It took us about 45 minutes to drive out there. And then we walked about a mile or a mile and a half, 2 miles out to this cave. And he did some drumming, did some invocation, and he dropped me off. And all I had with me was water. And I had one of these things, it's called a pro bar. It's like a nutrition bar. And I just had it there just in case I went for a hike, did something stupid, went longer than I should have, and I'd have something with me. The plan was to just drink water, meditate, dig deeper into myself, and find out what spirit had for me. And if there were visions, that would be great. So I started and I started drumming and I did a lot of chanting, did a lot of meditating. I looked out of that viewpoint of that cave for hours and hours. Um, and I came to an epiphany. And that epiphany is what I want to share with you related to radical forgiveness. And I thought, how many people have I had judgment about? God. And I decided to write them down. And I wrote down my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, all my loves, all my girlfriends, all my wives, my current wife, President or Donald Trump, President Biden, IRS, all everyone I could think of, everyone that I've had a little judgment about, friends that I've had judgment about that they acted a certain way and I judged them. Not that I hated them, not that I didn't want to be their friend anymore, but you have these little judgments. You have this someone does something weird in your life and you judge them. Why are they so whatever? And so I had to write down every single person. And I started to realize how much energy was coming out of me that was tied to judgment. And it kind of made me sick. And I put everyone that I can think about that, you have these ideas, I'm going to release this judgment of this person so that we can get along. And then I thought about the entities, the consciousness entities like, IRS and Facebook and the government and all that stuff that I have a judgment about. And it's like, if I want to be as clear and as a loving being as possible, I've got to release that. And there's a part of me that says, I know, but you want to hold on to this. This you can't let go of. This you've got to have, you got to, because they're assholes. You've got to do this because they've got, they're doing this wrong. And I had to let that go too. And it wasn't easy, but it was so liberating. It was so liberating to write all those down. And I created a song. When you're sitting in a cave for a couple of days and you're drinking water, you get to a different place. And I started to create the song. And the song goes like this. So there's a couple elements to it. One is wash day. And wash day is a Lakota word that sort of means it is beautiful, it is good, he or she is beautiful. And I've seen it with people say that, they do a trade and, wash day, it's beautiful, it's good, it's a good trade. So the other part of it is ho'oponopono. And ho'oponopono is a Hawaiian word that means making things right. And so part of this modernized ho'oponopono is, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. So I took each person and I said, let's see, let's use my brother. Okay, my brother's Ken. I said, wash day Ken, wash day Ken, wash day Ken. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. Wash day, wash day, wash day. Wash day Lisa, wash day Lisa, wash day Lisa. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. Wash day, wash day, wash day. And I just say that over and over again with all these different people. And just going down the list, I had like 25 or 30 people, and I've got some more. But just saying that prayer or singing that song, God, it was so liberating to just let it go because, when I die, I'm going to have to do that. And it's not going to be a choice. So I just think, what if I did that now? And then my transition would be that much easier and it would just be a nice slide. It wouldn't be this um, resistance anywhere. And so that's what I wanted to do, is just to release that and be liberated from that. I love you. Thank you. Bless you.